The following program is being brought to you on the Voice America Women's Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericawomen.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall-Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter.
Welcome to the show, everyone. I hope that you're having a beautiful week, and I'm excited to have you joining us, taking a moment to pause, breathe, and reflect and lean in with us as we look at passion, plan, and success. Now, I'm excited about today's show actually for a number of reasons that I will reveal as we go along through the show. One of the reasons, though, is that I believe it is so important to be passionate about what you do. And what I mean by that is that you really care and are excited to do what you're called to do in life, and that you're leaning in and saying yes. So I want you to have that passion and excitement in your life, that you look forward to each week and moving forward in the areas that you're called to move forward with. But I believe that takes planning, that there needs to be a strategy to, in a sense, channel that passion so that it moves forward in a way that brings forth those things that are important to you. And that, to me, is a formula for success. Because having passion and adding a strategy or plan to that equals success. But here's another part of that equation. It's important to know what success is for you and how you define it. And I bring that up because I spent many years of my life chasing what I thought success was, because I never stopped to pause and define it for myself. I just asked other people how I could be successful in something, and I let them give me a definition. And then I'm a great doer and a great person. I can really apply myself to having a list of things to do. So that's what I would do. And I would accomplish that definition of success only to get burned out in the process, to arrive there and realize this didn't feel good. I don't like this. This is it. And I did that several times. I was kind of a slow learner in this process because I didn't know that I was following other people's definitions of success. And when you do that, you lose your passion and you lose your energy, and it becomes discouraging and frustrating. And so I want to give you a moment just to think today, what is it that you need to bring some passion and life and energy into your life, or if you have that, to sustain it and bring more. And let's take a look at your definition of success. See if it's evolved or shifted and changed, or if perhaps you haven't stopped and looked at it before. Here's an opportunity to really sink into that and see. So let's take a moment and breathe together. And if you are driving, please keep your eyes open, stay safe, be alert, hands on the wheel. For those of you who are able to actually sit in a chair and close your eyes, I encourage you to do so. You're perfectly safe. Go ahead and put one hand on your heart, one hand on your head, and take a deep breath. And just sit here for a moment and see, what is it that you need today to up your passion, sustain your passion. Maybe it's having a strategy and plan to implement, or perhaps it's looking at your definition of success. Just listen for a moment and see and feel, what is it that you need today that will encourage and empower you on your journey? Could be a picture, a feeling, a thought, a memory. What is it that comes to your heart and mind? And when you've captured that information, go ahead and open up your eyes, come back into the room. Take another deep breath. And I encourage you to actually write down what it is you need. Because when we know what it is that we need, it's a lot easier to recognize it when it's in front of you, or to recognize you're getting closer to bringing that into your life, or perhaps a little further away, which means we need a bit of a course correction. What is it that you need today to support you on your journey? Take one more breath. And I have a guest today that is really near and dear to my heart. His name is Robert Ciolino, and I'm going to introduce him more formally in our next segment when we get to have a deeper conversation with him. But I wanted to open up the floor and just see, Robert, if you had something laid upon your heart to share with us today.
Hi, Rebecca. I do. Lots of things are laid upon my heart. I love the fact that this time I get to actually close my eyes, put my hand on my head and on my heart, and breathe with you, because I'm usually driving in my car. And of course, I follow your instructions.
I'm glad.
I don't close my eyes.
Good.
I do my best to do it without doing that. But some of the things I think, for my success, or for anybody's success, I believe for me, I need to truly be in the company of like-minded people. I surround myself with people that, and on purpose, I purposefully surround myself with people that have a similar outlook, similar positivity, want to grow and expand, because the company that you keep can control how you are, and you won't even know it. So you have to be purposeful in the people you bring around you in life and in business. That's one thing. And also truly identifying your passion. And when I say your one true passion, that's a hard thing to do. But if you identify that and live and work within that, you will be successful, beyond successful.
Thank you. And, Robert, if I can take a moment here, because you have shared with me behind the scenes how you help people identify that thing that they're passionate about. And I call it the dinner table test. Do you mind sharing that wisdom? Because I think it's really insightful and it helps us maybe identify our passion.
Absolutely. It's interesting. People have a hard time identifying sometimes that one true passion. And when you really sit back and you think about it, you can think of 5 or 6 or 7 things that you're really passionate about. But the one thing that you're truly passionate about is the one thing that you bring to the dinner table conversation. Every time that you come to the dinner table, whether it's with friends or family, you start talking about this, and people look at you, and some of them think and bring you in, and some of them go, "Oh my goodness, Robert, are you going to be talking about talk radio again at the dinner table?" That's the passion. It's the passion when they've heard it 10,000 times. That's your passion.
Thank you. And you're compelled to share it yet again. You just can't stop yourself.
Right. It just keeps flowing. It doesn't stop if it's your true passion. It doesn't matter what anybody else is thinking or saying. It's your passion.
Yes. Beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I appreciate that. And I think what was laid upon, not that I think, but what was laid upon my heart is that it's really important to remember to pause and ask and seek. I find, for me, one of the most powerful tools that has helped me on my journey and stepping into my success, and I'm going to actually celebrate something with all of you here in just a moment, a special announcement, or several announcements, right, Robert?
Absolutely.
Is really remembering to pause. One thing that we do, or tend to do, is we just keep adding commitments and things and projects and things we're going to do to our plate. And I call this the full plate syndrome, but the plate is only so big. And we add and we add and we add and we add. And if any of you have been to all those all-you-can-eat places, you've probably experienced this, or the picnics where everyone brings something and you want to try a little of something. At some point, your plate gets full. And if you put anything else on there, something's going to fall off. And that's what happens in our lives if we don't pause and stop and reflect. And as life accelerates and gets faster, we have to do these pauses more often and really evaluate, wow, what can I take off my plate as I'm looking to add more? And maybe I even want to create some open space for me to breathe and pause and reflect and have that space for things that I know are coming. Really important. So I want to encourage all of you to take a moment today and really look at your plate and see, is it getting full? Is there something that you perhaps can take off, that you can choose to pause and do a different way, or maybe it's not as important anymore to keep doing? And that's going to help you keep your passion and keep moving into your success and bring it to your life now. That's the other thing. I think sometimes we look, someday I'm going to do this, someday I'm going to have this, someday I'm going to go to Hawaii, someday, and it's always someday. And I think a key to really stepping into your success is finding ways, step by step, day by day, breath by breath, to bring an element of that someday into your life today. And it can be as simple and as quick as taking a breath and asking yourself who you want to be. Am I being that now? If the answer is yes, great. You just recharge with a little more oxygen. And if you find, no, I don't think I'm being quite who I want to be right now, then decide who you want to be. And with your next breath, move into that and start being that way. And that's how you can start bringing that someday into today, because the decisions we make every day, step by step, lead to our future. So what you're doing today, the way you're being today, the choices you're making, the passion and the planning and the strategy adds up to next week, next month, next year, and your life. And I want it to be everything that you're called to have it be. So take a breath again together. And I wanted to let you know who Robert is. And then when we come back, he and I together are going to make a special announcement and then have a really beautiful conversation that I know will serve you at a high level. So Robert Ciolino, his background, and I love this, Robert. Well, I have to lead with this. Robert Ciolino is my executive producer, and I am so honored and excited to have you on the show, Robert. Yay!
I know, me too. And this is I know, I won't say it. We'll wait till after the commercial. I'm super excited.
A cliffhanger of the announcement we're going to make.
But I wanted to say something about plate full before we go into
please.
Break.
That's
I find that if I fill my plate up too much, I tend to miss all the cheesecake.
Oh.
I don't want to miss the cheesecake.
We can't have that.
No.
So actually, we're going to leave a little bit of a cliffhanger so you don't get to know all of who Robert is, other than he's my executive producer. I will share more juicy details when we get back from this commercial break. But I want you to take a moment and really think about your plate. And is it getting full? And do you have room for that cheesecake? And then there might be something chocolate too. So you might want to allow a little extra room even to allow room for all the richness that life has to offer and is bringing you. So with that, we're going to lean into our commercial break, and we'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Your favorite Voice America Talk Radio Network shows and hosts are in your car, outdoors, and wherever you need them to be. Listen anywhere. Get our mobile app for iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android at the Apple iTunes App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market.
Are you struggling with changing or re-entering your career? Terry Hockett, CEO of What's for Work and transitional career strategist, works with her clients to craft their personal brand, gain clarity, and create career opportunities. Terry helps her clients discover and stand in their value and learn the tools and techniques needed to successfully navigate today's changing job market. Start today with your free membership. Step powerfully into the career of your dreams. Join Terry at whatsforwork.com. Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. And we had a little bit of a cliffhanger promising you some exciting news, as well as a formal introduction of the amazing Robert Ciolino. So I shared during the last segment that he is my executive producer. And so he's the reason, actually, that I'm on Voice America. And he reached out to me before I was even really thinking radio and saw this vision for me and has held that space. And he heard my passion, which was around empowering women. And I wanted to do that. And I believed as I did that, it would transform lives. And so he helped me learn how to put a strategy together to channel that passion so that now I get to reach the world. And so I'm very, very grateful to have Robert in my life. And he continues to hold that space and vision and the next steps for me to take as we go along in our journey together. So let me share just a little bit more about Robert so you know some of his heart and his passion for what he does. His background is in online marketing, web development, social media, and he has a passion for everything internet. And I love that. I don't know very many people that is their passion. So I love that. And you realize the potential that the internet radio has to reach the entire world and just knew you had to be a part of it. So now you're an executive producer at Voice America and you support, I don't know how many, but lots of, I don't know if you want to share how many, but lots of us talk radio show hosts as we develop our passion, as we're birthing our shows, and supports us in continuing to bring that information forward powerfully. He works with talented people that are passionate about what they do every day, loves what he's doing, and he gets to help people reach the entire world with their message. It is my privilege and honor to officially welcome you to the show, Robert. Welcome.
Rebecca, thank you. What a great introduction, too. I love hearing that because I'm thinking to myself, wow, now that's got to be me. It sounds like me, but I think it is for sure. And I love that because I get to work with those phenomenal people and grow every day from them as well. So the really interesting thing is it's a relationship that's sort of symbiosis and growing together. So it creates a real synergy. So I'm fortunate to work with the people I work with. And at count right now, I believe I work with 22 people going on 25 in the next 2 weeks.
Beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I forgot to ask that number before the show, so thank you for sharing.
No problem. It grows every month.
I love it. Now, why is this work of empowering people in this way, helping people reach the world in internet specifically, why is this work so personally important to you?
Well, and so eloquently stated previously by you, but I'm fascinated with the reach and the scope of the internet and where it can take you if you open yourself up to bringing your true passion to the world. I have a personal passion to help people to achieve something that maybe they wouldn't have been able to achieve on their own, or more difficultly to achieve on their own, or ever achieve it without any assistance from someone like me. And that's where my passion lies. I like to give everything that I've learned, bring it to the table, and then let people have it. They own it. It's yours. Use anything that I give you as your own. I mean, that's my permission to you. I really want you to take everything I have and take it to another level for yourself. And that's where my passion lies.
And as you shared that, it resonated in my heart. I could feel it. And so I hope, listeners, you've heard that too. This is truly Robert's heart and his passion, is to really help you take it to the next level. Take anything that he can share with you, the wisdom, the insight, the tips, and make it your own and get your message out there. I mean, he has such a heart and passion for that. And you're going to hear that echoed throughout the show, even in the gift that he's going to make available to you later in the show. So thank you, Robert, for sharing your heart and your passion with us.
You are welcome.
Now, we've mentioned that you're an executive producer and that you're working in the world of internet radio, but can you explain a little bit of what that means and what your role is in radio today?
Well, my role in radio today, well, I tell you what, it's changing every week. I've been, I always say reach out, find your passion, and move forward. My role currently is working with phenomenal people like you and helping them bring their message to the world in a way that makes it available to everybody else, to bring them to you and to put your message out to people of like minds and really have them gravitate towards you and rally towards the things that you're doing. But also my role, and it's interesting, I recently became a senior executive producer. So that's really kind of cool. I made a senior level, which is the next step.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Exciting. Mm-hmm.
That is exciting. And I've recently been writing a few pieces and parts for my next positions here. So I am definitely working my way towards the C-suite, which will be wonderful. I'm looking forward to that eventually. But currently helping guide the company in its promotional pieces, also exposure campaigns. We recently went to the SAGE Summit and we're blessed to be the only other live broadcast for the entire summit other than Bloomberg. We got to work right beside Bloomberg, and we sat there side by side and broadcasted together for this entire event. And we were the only internet company there that was broadcasting to the entire world as far as the network is concerned. It's really, really wonderful.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. And I love that you just have this vision. So you're continuing to plan. I like that strategy. And as your definition of success is evolving and what you're looking to step into, and yet you're also enjoying every day and opportunities that you have and who you get to work with. So I just think that's beautiful. And listeners, I encourage you to just kind of pause and sit in that for a moment and think about how can you start bringing, or if you already have, how can you bring more of what you're passionate about, what excites you, what energizes you in your life today. And Robert, I was just going to comment that I feel the same way, that in my show, I get to interview experts all the time. And I get to learn and grow every show and bring that kind of information to the world. And it's just a really exciting way to live and to be. And I just get to keep growing and expanding. And it's in a collaborative way where I get to bring amazing information and tools and resources to the world. So it is absolutely a pleasure. And I'm excited to have you as one of those resources.
Thank you. It's my pleasure, too.
Now, what started your journey into internet radio?
Wow, that's actually really, really interesting. And it's something, you know how you have these moments in your life that you remember forever, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter when they happened. They just stick with you, whether it's good or whether it's bad sometimes. But in this case, this is a fond memory. And honestly, I remember it pretty much like it was yesterday. And it was November 1975, which was a while ago.
Oh, wow. Very specific, though. Yes.
It was just the week before Thanksgiving, and my grandparents had come out to visit us. We were living in Leavenworth, Kansas at the time. Not in the prison, but the city.
Thank you for the clarification.
Yes. And I remember that like it was yesterday. I mean, they rolled in and hugs and kisses all around. And then my grandfather said, hey, I want to introduce you to this really cool thing. And he takes me out to the car and he shows me this box, and it's a CB radio in his car. And he introduced me to that CB radio that afternoon, and I lived in that car for 2 weeks. I never came out of that car except to eat and to go to school the week before, and thank goodness we had a break in there because I had probably killed that battery at least once during that time, and never wanted to leave that radio, let me tell you. I was reaching out to people. It was just amazing. I mean, I was having conversations, and at that point, I realized that I loved reaching out to people and talking to them and to put a message out to the world. And that was amazing to me. And I then received this wonderful gift at Christmas time. We'll call it from Santa Claus, right? And it was a base station radio. And that was in going from 1975 to 1976. So then 1976 was my year of exploring mass communication. I fell in love with it. I mean, I love the fact that I could key up a microphone, talk to people that I didn't know, engage in a conversation, what was important to them, what was important to me. And I also knew that hundreds, if not thousands, if not tens of thousands, were listening in on that conversation and were interested in it because they would chime in from time to time with what we were talking about. And that's when I knew that radio would be a permanent part of my life.
Wow. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Do you mind sharing what age you were at that time? I'm just curious.
11 going on 12.
I love it. I mean, to have that pull and clarity at that age that has just continued and continued is really, really beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I love it. Well, listeners, I want you to think for a moment. Have you had that pull at your heart? I mean, I think back and I had a wonder of people when I think back, and I loved teaching. I was just thinking back when I was 10, 11, what was I passionate about? What was kind of pulling up my heart? And I always had a desire to teach and to connect and touch others in a positive way. That was always something that was within me. And I think a lot of what we're called to do can be in those younger years when we look back. Sometimes we get clarity as we go along and go forward, but I lost my purpose for a while in life as I chased other people's definitions of success and then discovered mine again and was able to step into it powerfully. And one of the definitions of success, part of that for me, it is continuing to be able to touch people in a positive way. But part of it is really bringing in the information so that the truth, I should say, it's not just information, the truth, that each of you is beautifully and wonderfully made on purpose and for a purpose. There's not another one of you out there. And that's on purpose. You're uniquely gifted and needed just as you are. And the world is a richer place for having you here. And I'm saying that to Robert, I'm saying that to each and every one of you, and to myself, because sometimes we forget as our day goes along and we get busy in life. And one of the greatest gifts that you can bring to the world is you. And really being able to discover your passion because it's unique to you and it's part of your gift to the world. And being willing to say yes to bringing that forward. And I shared with you that one of my passions, or my passion, it's not one of them, my passion is to empower and equip each of you. That's something that we share on the show, or maybe even when you paused and took a breath and listened, it's the information that came up within you, that it impacts your life in a positive way, that it helps you bloom where you're planted, that it helps you shine, because that is a gift to each and every one of us out there. And so, Robert, I wanted to take a moment. We are coming up on our next commercial break here, and I wanted to take a moment and thank you for the gift that you've been in my life, the passion that you've had for the show, and the space that you've held for so many others out there as we're bringing our messages and our callings forward, and it's a huge gift. I love that you love everything internet and that you followed that dream and passion.
Thank you, Rebecca. And I want to thank you too. I want to just sort of turn that right back around because it's been a pleasure. I mean, it really has working with you and all of the hosts that I work with. But I wanted to say that it's been an absolute pleasure working with you and to continue to work with you, which is great. And to put that right back to you in your court. And thank you for all the things that you do because you really hold the vision for all of the people that you work with and bring them to a stage and a place that they couldn't be either without your assistance or knowing you.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Listeners, let's take a deep breath together. We're going into our next commercial break, and I absolutely promise when you come back, we will share our exciting announcement. So make sure to tune in, and we'll talk to you in just a moment.
Your favorite Voice America Talk Radio Network shows and hosts are in your car, outdoors, and wherever you need them to be. Listen anywhere. Get our mobile app for iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android at the Apple iTunes App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market.
Are you struggling with changing or re-entering your career? Terry Hockett, CEO of What's for Work and transitional career strategist, works with her clients to craft their personal brand, gain clarity, and create career opportunities. Terry helps her clients discover and stand in their value and learn the tools and techniques needed to successfully navigate today's changing job market. Start today with your free membership. Step powerfully into the career of your dreams. Join Terry at whatsforwork.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed that break. And as we come back, I wanted to ask Robert an additional question. And then we're going to make that special announcement we've been letting you know is coming. So the question I wanted to ask you, Robert, is how do you account for your success in talk radio? But the second question I want to add to that is, and how do you kind of define your definition of success? Because everyone defines success differently. So I'd love to know how you're defining it, and then what do you attribute your success in it to?
I like that question. The multi-purpose part question. I'll answer the first part first, which it's interesting. How do I account for success? And part of it is easy. I love radio. If you love what you're doing and you're doing what you love, success just follows. It takes time. I have that passion for everything that has to do with mass communication as well. And I put internet in that, but mass communication, whether it's social media, whether it's radio, whether it's television, it's mass communication. So I have just a passion for that. Just putting yourself out there to the world, being raw and open and bringing your true passion out there, and people just gravitate towards that. So when people start to gravitate towards the people I'm working with, that's one definition of success, because you can actually physically see it. It's on paper. It's everywhere. It's around you. And that's an easy definition for defining that. And I've also learned, as far as within success, is never let the how or why stop me from starting, right? I mean,
yes.
If that's success. If you don't worry about the how and you don't worry about the why and you start, the how and the why take care of themselves. And when that starts happening, that's success as well, because now you've taken that and put it all behind you and stepped forward into what you already know is true. And when those things start coming to you, that's another version or definition of the success. And also, I work with the best of the best in their industries, and that in itself makes me better. I mean, and I grow, and as I learn and grow from their experiences as they do from mine, and when that synergy happens and we both grow together and you're expanding the horizons of the people you're working with and they're expanding yours in that synergy, that's another definition of how I define success when that starts to happen. I know that's 3 or 4 different points, but that's what I see and what I feel.
Beautiful. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And I just pausing and digesting, because there was so much that you shared there that was powerful. But what I appreciate about what you're sharing is that your definition of success includes, it's a bigger vision than just you, that part of it is helping others step into their success too. And I think that's really beautiful. I like that. And that you see part of your success as them being successful and stepping into their passion, and everybody learning and growing and expanding. So I think that's really, really beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, you're welcome. I truly believe that. That's helping other people and being successful together is part of success. It's not all about just you. I mean, it starts with you and you bring that out. But if you're not bringing other people along with you, how lonely is that success?
Exactly. I agree. One of my big things around success is that it needs to be collaborative, and I want others on the journey with me. I also choose to surround myself with people that have a like mind, in the sense that they have a bigger vision, that they're wanting to make a difference around the world, that they're not always caught up in the how stuff. They're willing to say, yes, I'm called to do this. I'm going to step forward and I'll figure out the how. I will get the help if I need help, that I will become what I need to become and learn what I need to learn to do what I'm called to do. And they keep moving towards that. And I find it inspiring and encouraging. And then we get to collaborate, in a sense, in a really powerful way. So I love that way of approaching life, and I like that you are similar in how you approach the world and life as well. And with that, I'm pausing. I have an announcement to make, and I keep wavering and going back and forth if I'm going to have Robert make it, am I going to make it? So I'm going to make it.
I'm on pins and needles, I have to know.
And then if you want to add to it, in case I miss a piece, let me know. So for those of you who don't know, we are at the 1 year mark of the show. So this month, we have been on air 1 year. And when that happens, everything is always evaluated, like those numbers that Robert was talking about. And there were several things that came out of us reviewing the numbers. And so one of them, and I announced this on social media and a press release a couple weeks ago, or last week, my goodness, week or two ago, time goes very quickly, that our show, Empowering Women, Transforming Lives, on the Women's Channel, is the #1 most listened to show on the Voice Women's Channel. So I'm really honored and excited, and all of you are part of that. So thank you for being a part of that journey. The second thing that has come out of that is that Voice America always reviews everything and decides the shows that are going to continue and the ones that are in alignment and what makes sense. And then I do as well. My company and organization, we go and review that. And we're really excited to announce that we are continuing to be part of Voice America, and it's such an honor and a privilege. So we are getting ready to start our 2nd year. So I want to celebrate that with all of you, with Voice America. On top of that, we're getting to syndicate on another channel. So not only are we going to be on the Voice America Women's Channel, we're also going to be on the Empowerment Channel, which means we get to expand and reach more people out there, which is truly exciting and an honor. And drum roll, right, Robert? Drum roll. Hopefully that comes across as a drum roll. There we go. We're going to be stepping into television as well. So there will be more details coming around that, but we've got a really exciting year that we're planning and we're stepping into, and all of you have been part of the journey and making this possible. So I want to thank you all for being on this journey. I want to thank Voice America. Robert, I want to thank you, and I just can't wait to see what this coming year brings.
Wow, Rebecca, I want to say something. I want to congratulate you. I just want to say it out loud to the entire world. Congratulations. You've worked hard, although you made it look easy. And I know behind the scenes what we've done to build the show, and I know what you've done to build your entire show and everything else that you do. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I am honored. I'm proud. And I'm excited. I got to tell you, I'm excited for this. You're going to be with us another season and hopefully forever, but a whole 2nd season going forward from here. That's amazing. And stepping into television, I think I need to open a metaphoric bottle of champagne here, I think. And we will just get the cork going and then pour a little bit of that. Now, anybody else out there that doesn't prefer champagne, you can put a little bubbly apple cider in a glass. And I think we have a toast to Rebecca and her show continuing forward. Hear, hear.
Hear, hear.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Robert. Truly honored. Very excited to share this moment with all of you. And I'm humbled at the same time because it really is such a pleasure to work with you, to work with all of the guests that come on, that I get to interview and learn from every single person on the show. And listeners, I learn from all of you as well. I love that you send me messages, that you call in, that you share things that have touched your lives. And it just helps us continue to serve you at a really powerful level. And so I just can't wait as we step into this next year to continue to be part of the journey with all of you. And I agree, Robert, I hope that it's forevermore. I love Voice America and being with all of you. So thank you, everyone, for toasting the champagne or the sparkling water or whatever it is that you toasted with us as we took a moment to celebrate, because I also believe that is important with success. It's important to pause and celebrate with one another and cheer each other on in those moments when something amazing happens, when something is continuing, when we've achieved something. It's really important to pause and celebrate together. So I want to thank you for doing that with me today. So thank you, Robert. Thank you, listeners. Let's take a deep breath together. Now, we have talked a lot about the business side of success here today, Robert. And our personal passion for what we do. And I was wondering if you could share a little bit of how you are balancing this with your personal life. Because you always have a positive outlook. Every time I talk to you, you're doing fabulous, wonderful, you're excited. So I know you've got this amazing balance. Do you mind sharing a little bit about that with us?
Oh, I'd love to. I would. Speaking to the bit about the positive side too, I would like to hope and think that everybody finds ways to just live their life in a positive manner. And I think that one of the things I've learned is reaching into yourself and knowing yourself. Know yourself. Being 100% committed to what you're doing. That always keeps me positive. I don't ever want to be 50% in or 75% in. I'm looking at things that I love and I'm putting myself 100% into those. And when you're all in, positivity just, it flows. I have a little mantra that I mean, literally, I wake up in the morning, I stretch a little bit, and I say, I'm going to be cool. I'm going to be calm and confident in all of my decisions and actions. And confident in all of your decisions and actions, knowing those decisions and actions, that's keeping me positive every single day. And believe me, I chant this throughout the day to stay on course. Because, I find that if you're all in all the time, you can't help but truly be positive. I also absolutely love what I do, and I know that it's my true passion, so that creates synergy, and doing that with others and giving all I know, that all I can to help them, that enriches my life and keeps me positive every day.
Beautiful. I love that. All in. And I agree. So listeners, as we get ready to go to our next commercial break, I want you to think about, how are you being all in, or how could you be more all in? And maybe even think about, is there a mantra that you want to start bringing into your life, or a phrase that motivates you throughout the day and keeps you on course and keeps you in that space that you want to be in more and more in your life? We'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Your favorite Voice America Talk Radio Network shows and hosts are in your car, outdoors, and wherever you need them to be. Listen anywhere. Get our mobile app for iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android at the Apple iTunes App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market.
Are you struggling with changing or re-entering your career? Terry Hockett, CEO of What's for Work and transitional career strategist, works with her clients to craft their personal brand, gain clarity, and create career opportunities. Terry helps her clients discover and stand in their value and learn the tools and techniques needed to successfully navigate today's changing job market. Start today with your free membership. Step powerfully into the career of your dreams. Join Terry at whatsforwork.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed that commercial break. And Robert and I were just reflecting, my goodness, the time has gone by so fast for us. We hope it's gone by quickly and given you great value and information in our time together. And I was sharing with Robert how it's so interesting when we have something to celebrate that sometimes it's like we can share it with a good friend, but when we're out celebrating it with the world and sharing something like that, it can be a little bit harder. And so I was finding that like there was a little bit of me that I'm so excited, but I was almost a little shy to share about being the #1 show, even though I'm excited about it. And I really appreciated Robert and all of you holding that space and celebrating with me, because I am excited and I'm so appreciative and I'm looking forward to this journey and continuing to be on the journey with all of you on multiple channels and multiple platforms. So it's such an honor, and that was a really special moment for me, and I just want to thank all of you. And in our closing segment here, we always offer a free gift. And that's because I want you to be able to take action on the information that we shared today. And I want you to have access to the experts like I get to have access to them, so that you can keep moving forward and be empowered by those that you resonate with and will really serve and support you on your journey. And so I asked Robert to put together a free gift for all of you as well. And he has made a very generous offer where you can actually have contact with him directly. So Robert, would you share a little bit about what you're offering our listeners today?
Absolutely. My free gift is me.
Ta-da!
You can talk to me, pick my brain for 30 minutes. And Rebecca will tell you how to do this as far as finding the links to it. But there's going to be a special link, and Rebecca will tell you how to get there, that you click on, and it will take you directly to my LinkedIn profile. I would like you to get linked with me in LinkedIn and then request and mention that you heard this on Rebecca's show, a 30-minute, pick my brain, anything you want to talk about, mass media, radio, television, and schedule that time with me, and I will give you 30 minutes of my time.
Very generous. And I want to thank you for making that available. And listeners, if something has resonated with you that he shared with you today, or perhaps your passion is to bring your message to the world, you now have direct access to not just an executive producer, but a senior executive producer to pick his brain and get ideas. And he has such a resource of inspiration, giving you practical steps, and will really hold that space and vision for you. So I highly, highly, highly encourage you to reach out to Robert and take him up on this generous offer. So let me let you know how to do that. So you can go to LinkedIn and find our Robert here today. You go to Radio Gifts, that's plural because there's multiple gifts on the page, .net. So that's radiogifts.net, and you will see today's date, and you can click on the gift. You'll put your name and email address so we can stay in touch with you, and then you'll see the world of gifts open up to you, and you'll see Robert's there where you can have that direct conversation with him. And I really invite you to lean in and say yes to you, to what your passion is, and to having that type of a connection in your life. Makes a big difference. So thank you, Robert.
My pleasure.
And as we are in this segment, I always like to ask if you have any last tip or piece of advice or something laid upon your heart that you would like to share with our listeners during these last few minutes of our time together.
I'd love to share. I want to put this out there to everybody that's listening to this, whether it's live or on demand, to believe in yourself, first and foremost. Never let anything or anyone stop you from doing what is right for you. Find and know your true passion and work from it. You'll always be successful if you're true to yourself and your passion. And never, ever let the how or why stop you from starting. It's really important to really move forward and not get stalled or stuck. And a couple of other quick things is never put yourself on a pedestal and speak over someone's head, even though you may know much more than they do on the subject at hand. And something else I've learned that helps me in my life is to be clear in your communication and to be sure that you understand the question before answering, and then to ensure that the person that's receiving that answer is satisfied with the answer you gave. Always ask that question, and your communication will be effortless and flawless. These are some pieces and parts that I use every single day to help me go forward and grow.
Beautiful. Thank you. And I think communication and successful communication is so important, especially if you're someone that is called to be a messenger. You want to make sure that you're connecting and that your message is heard and that the language you're using is resonating with the people that you're called to connect with. So beautiful pieces of advice and tip. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure. They help me every day.
Oh, it's wonderful. And the believing in yourself is so important. And I had a mentor share with me one time because I approached them and I shared with them that I felt this pull at my heart, this passion that I wanted to make a difference in the world. I wanted to change people's lives. I look out there and I see amazing, gifted, talented people that don't know how amazing they are. And they're hiding, and it hurts my heart when I see that the world needs them exactly as they are, heart by heart, life by life. They don't need to be something different than who they are. Just be willing to share who they are with those around them. And I went to a mentor sharing that this needs to happen. And they said, great, so how are you going to do that? I thought, me? I'm supposed to do that? Someone else needs to do that. And I've learned that when you have that passion, when you see that vision, frequently you're the one called to bring it forward. And when they said to me, Rebecca, great, so let's get started on doing that. I said, okay, well, great. I don't want to speak to more than 50 people at a time. I don't want to be on the radio because I don't understand that. I don't want to be recorded. I don't want to write any books. And I don't want to ever be on television. That was my response. I said, I want to speak to a group of 50 or less because that's who I feel I can make an impact. Let's go change the world. Because I wanted to make a medium kind of safe impact in an environment I could control because I was scared. I didn't know the how, and I was intimidated. And I wanted people just to feel somehow that they should connect with me. And what they said to me was, Rebecca, we see a much bigger vision for you. And until you see it, until you can fully believe in it, we believe in it, and we see it, and we're holding it for you. And what I want to share with all of you is that I am on radio and I love it. I'm stepping into television more and more. I have multiple books out there, many bestsellers. I speak regularly to groups much larger than 50, and I'm recorded all the time. And I actually love all of it. And I'm so glad that they believed in me until I was able to believe in myself, and that they held that vision, and that I'm so grateful that I get to do what I do. And I want you to know today that I believe in you. That there's a reason you're listening to the show today. There's a reason that you said yes and you're listening to the end. There is something absolutely here for you. And if no one else has told you today that you are beautifully and wonderfully made, I am telling it to you now. And you are made on purpose and for a purpose and are needed exactly as you are. And I'm holding that vision and that space for you, that you will bring the gift of who you are forward to those in your life and those around you, that you will honor the passion of your heart that is crying to come forward, that you're not going to worry about the how and all those details, but that you're willing to say yes and bring the amazing gift of who you are forward. And may you always, always, always bloom where you're planted and shine. I look forward to talking to you next week.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter, next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Women's Channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.